traveling to Minuteman Missile Historical Site, South Dakota. The Minuteman Missile Launch Control Center is run by the National Park System. Rangers get free tours all year long. The first place we visited was a launch control facility.
8 men lived in this modest-looking building, a facility manager, a cook, and 6 security guards. 2 missileers manned the launch center, 30 feet below ground, in a suspended concrete pod.
It was for their morale, so they feel good about it. This is a scary job when you think about it, but they would do their duty. So, have you ever seen this flag before? Yeah, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, the Minuteman going right up through there. And you guys like pizza? Minutes or less, or your next one's for a little morbid. These missiles here, they would be to their targets in 30 minutes.
Now you're going to get to go down 31 feet below the ground, and you're going to meet a real missileer. His name's Al, and he worked here in the 1960s. He's even wearing his original uniform.
Right here, stop, turn right.
Unfortunately, we would have been kicked out of the Army early on.
Halt, and then right face. That's pretty good. I want you to face me. I want to talk about what we had to do if we had to launch a missile. We were at Delta 1. My fingernails are the missiles. They're 7 to 10 miles away from us and 3 to 5 miles apart. We were part of the 66, which included Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, and Echo. We worked together as a group. So there were 5 of these, and then how many missiles? 50 missiles. We were interconnected by 500 miles of buried cable, so we could monitor and launch each other's missiles. If we got an order to launch missiles, who would that have to come from? The President. It would go to SAC headquarters, that was Omaha, Nebraska, and then directly to us. So we had to go in here and get the documents to decode it. They were top secret crypto, and it had to have 2 officers down here. This guy was a 1st or 2nd lieutenant, and this is what I did. This guy over here was a captain up to a lieutenant colonel. So we got those out, and we're going to decode it, and it says you're going to launch 2, 7, and 11 missiles. These are the safeties for the missile. So you just flip up that little switch, and the missile's hot. So here's half the trigger right here, key slot. That's for this guy. The keys would be kept up in the red box too. Key goes in there.
So if you turned it and that guy turned it a second later, it wouldn't matter?
No, we'd turn and hold. These lights tell us the status of the missile. So the key would go in there and we would turn the key. When just these 2 people turned the key, it was an hour-and-a-half time delay before those missiles would launch. Remember, we got Alpha, Bravo, or Charlie. And if they got the message from the President and they still existed, they called us up and say, we got to launch 10 missiles. Well, we got to launch 3, so let's launch together. So now there's 2 here, and then 2 in Alpha. So now we turn the keys, and when you do that, then they go in 30 seconds. It takes 4 people. This was targeted with a big weapon, and that would have made a hole 130 feet deep. So we're not here. But our missiles are 10 miles away, so they would go into an automatic arm. So anybody that survived in the squadron that could launch those missiles. If that thing hit a half a mile away, we probably would have survived. But the elevator shaft is filled in. We can't open up that blast door, so they give us a psychological exit. It just makes us feel better. So that's what I always thought about it anyhow. So there's a lid like you see in the street, and you can take that off, and then there's a culvert that goes up to the surface that's full of sand, and the sand runs out, and you can dig yourself out the rest of the way.
How come there's a seatbelt here?
Well, if that thing hit a half a mile away, we probably would have survived, and we probably would have been belted in, because this is really going to shake. And why is the rail on this? Well, that's because I could stay belted in and go back and forth and do all I had to do. So I could come over and work here, I could work here, I could work here, I could work over there. I just couldn't get to the bathroom.
Missileers were college graduates in their early 20s. They worked 24-hour shifts and never used the topside facilities.
Missileers worked on their masters in business and administration while waiting for the call.
Take care, kids.
Next, we visited the Delta 9 missile silo, just down the road from the launch center.
It has an actual Minuteman II missile, minus the 1.2 megaton warhead. While doing our junior ranger books, we learned that during the Cold War, there were over 1,000 Minuteman missile silos. Now there are no more active silos in South Dakota, but 500 nuclear missiles are still deployed in the upper Great Plains.
I am now a junior ranger of Minuteman Missile, National Historic Site. I promise to tell the Minuteman story.
From Minuteman Missile Headquarters, this is how a cheap family travels. I'm glad the Cold War's over.